Hello everyone and hello teachers and good afternoon grade 10 students. How are you there po? Alright, let's start for our new discussions for this day. Okay, so our topic for today is all about the eggs. We know that eggs are nutritious, right? Whole eggs are protein rich, low in sodium, and contain varying amounts of 13 vitamins and minerals. Eggs are nutrient rich compared to calorie intake, just 70 calories per large egg. There are parts of eggs. The first one we have shell. There are parts of an egg. The first one we have shell. Shell surrounding the egg is porous. Itong nakapalibot po sa egg na to, yung first level na to, that is shell. Odors, flavors, and moistures can pass through the microscopic holes. For this reason, eggs should be stored in an enclosed space such as the egg carton. The color of the shell depends on the breed of the chicken, and although brown eggs may be more expensive, color makes no difference at all in any quality other than appearance. Do not wash eggs before storing them, as this removes a natural protective coating. The next one is the inner and outer shell membranes. So the inner and outer shell membranes resemble layers of skins. Ito po yun. This one. When an egg is very fresh, less than 3 days old, and is heated, these membranes form a bond between the shell and the egg whites. The shell will be very hard to remove in this case without tearing the cooked egg white part. Next, we have air cell. Ito po yun, yung nasa may puwitan po ng egg, this one. Mayroon pa siyang space. Ang tawag po dyan ay air cell. The air cell is always found on the wide end of the egg, like what I said a while ago. When peeling a hard-cooked egg, you always want to start at this air cell. There are two types of egg whites in each egg: the thick and the thin egg whites, or albumin. Egg whites consist of protein and water, no fat. The older an egg gets, the thinner the whites become. Next, we have calazu. What is calazu? The calazu are two rope-like structures at either end of the egg. They hold the yolk centered in the egg. As the egg ages, the calazu become weaker. When separating the yolk from the whites, the calazu often becomes part of the egg white. Eggs should be stored pointed and down to maintain the centering of the yolk and quality of the air cell. So this is the calazu. This one and this one. Next, we have vitelline membrane. The yolk is liquid, right? Having no shape of its own. The round shape of the yolk is due entirely to the vitelline membrane. It is completely transparent. When we say we broke the egg yolk, we actually mean we broke the vitelline membrane surrounding the yolk. So we have also yolk. What is yolk? So yung yolk, it is cholesterol, is the type of fat that can clog the arteries of the body of eating in excess. People with heart disease may need to limit egg yolk intake. So kung yung tao may heart disease, you have to avoid to eat more mini eggs. So dapat may limit tayo. The yolk contains protein, fat, and a natural thickener or emulsifier called lecithin. The color of the yolk depends on the diet of the chicken. The fat found in the yolk is a saturated fat called cholesterol. Next, we have germ cell. If you notice, class, the germ cell appears as a whitish colored disc on the surface of the yolk. It is the part of the yolk that would develop into a chick if the egg was fertilized. The hen will lay eggs approximately one every 24 hours for 2 years, whether or not there is a rooster around to fertilize them before it is laid. So egg grading. Egg grades are based on the shape of the yolk and the amounts of thick and thin whites. So this is it. Before they are sold, eggs are graded. This is done by shining a bright light in a manner so you can see through the shell. This process is called kindling. Ito yun. So this is one. If you notice, this is the egg. Ilalagyan siya ng this one. Ang tawag dito ay kindling. Ito yung process para malaman natin kung okay yung egg. Grade A eggs have a flatter yolk and less thick egg whites. The egg will lose quality as it ages. Eggs must be refrigerated to maintain quality. This is the grade B eggs. This one is the grade A, grade B eggs, grade A eggs, and high, average, and low A eggs. So grade B eggs will not have a high quality appearance and spreads out a lot when removed from shell. When it comes to the grade C eggs, are generally considered unfit for human consumption but may be used in pet food products. The size of the egg varies with the age of the chicken. The young pullet lays a much smaller egg than a mature hen. Most recipes are based on the use of large eggs. Large eggs weigh 24 ounces per dozen. You may need to adjust cooking time for smaller or larger eggs. A larger eggs does not denote better quality. Next, how can you tell a fresh egg from a spoiled one? So, spoiled egg has a shiny shell and flows in water, like this one. It is only after you crack open the egg that it smells bad, and by that time you may have added the egg to your other ingredients. That would be too late if you suspect that an egg may be spoiled. Use this water test first, this one. And then, a fresh egg has domed yolk like this one. There is a plenty of thick egg white. Notice both the thick and thin whites in the picture, right? And the whites are translucent, not transparent. A refrigerated egg maintains maximum freshness for 1 week. So 1 week lang po kapag nire-refrigerate natin yung egg. The cooking rules for egg. The first one, we have to avoid excessive temperature. And then we have also to avoid excessive cooking time. Okay, as the protein in eggs heats up, it forms a network or type of web. If heating is excessive, the network becomes tough and rubbery. It also tightens up, squeezing out water. The food may become dry or has water standing on the surface. All right? And then, of course, our cooked eggs may also turn a greenish color. This is a reaction of iron in the yolk and sulfur in the whites that occurs when the cooking is excessive. Coagulations and denaturations of protein. So let's start with this coagulation. Coagulation, it is changes a liquid protein into a soft, semi-solid clot or solid mass. It occurs when polypeptides unfold during denaturations and then collide and clump together during cooking processes. Together during cooking processes, coagulation is not reversible. Alright, like this one, this is the coagulations of egg protein caused by heat. Next is denaturation. It is a process that causes protein to become a looser, a less compact structure. It can be caused by heat, freezing, sound waves, mechanical treatment like beating. The additions of ingredients that raise or lower pH levels, or the presence of minerals such as sodium, copper, potassium, or iron. Denaturation is sometimes really reversible. Next, according to the American Egg Board, about 1 in every 20,000 eggs might be contaminated by salmonella. Ito po yung when it comes to the egg safety. To decrease the risk of illness, make sure to utilize fresh, whole, grade A or double A eggs that are uncracked and properly refrigerated, or use frozen or dried pasteurized eggs rather than shell eggs or pasteurized raw eggs before using them. When you pasteurize eggs, you bring them up to about 130 to 150 degrees for 3 to 5 minutes depending on the age and the size of the eggs. If the temperature goes any higher, you start to cook the egg. Pasteurizing eggs won't completely eliminate the risk that eating raw eggs bring. It will, however, drastically reduce the chance of contamination. Cooking eggs to temperatures of 145 degrees Fahrenheit or higher kills all disease-causing microorganisms in eggs. An egg with a runny yolk is a higher risk than one with a fully cooked yolk. Avoid holding egg dishes longer than 1/2 hour. Scrambled eggs are less hazardous. So this is the scrambled eggs. This one. It is less hazardous than sunny side up eggs. Hard cooked eggs are safer than soft cooked eggs. Higher risk food include mayonnaise, Caesar salad, dressings, meringues, hollandaise and béarnaise sauces, and of course, eggnog. It is no accident that we feed scrambled eggs to young children and patients in hospitals. So this is the scrambled egg, and this is the sunny side up. Next, the 100 place on a chef's top, tall white hat, are said to represent the 100 ways a chef can prepare eggs. Eggs can be baked or shirred, placed in a grease, ramekin, or custard cup, cover with 1 tea milk, bake for 12 to 18 minutes until whites are set. Eggs can be poached. Eggs can be poached, fried in water, milk, or broiled instead of in fat. Remove the eggs with a slotted spoon and drain on paper towels. Eggs made without grease are easily digested and low calorie. Eggs can be scrambled. Do not stir constantly. Cook until yolk and whites are firm. So this is the blinded folded or busted egg. This one. And then this is the over easy. Eggs can be fried in a small amount of fat. A sunny side up has just cooked whites, and overs flip over during cooking until yolk is hard. Over easy is flip over during cooking, but yolk is soft. Blind folded or busted egg is like sunny side up, only adding a small amount of water and the lid forms film on the top of the yolk. All right. Eggs can be cooked in the shell since boiling is excessive temperature for eggs. They should be cooked in hot liquid just under the boiling point. Soft cooked eggs are brought to boiling. Run under cold water until they are cool enough to handle. Hard cooked eggs are brought to boiling and then allowed to sit in hot water for 15 minutes. It is a large eggs, and then after that cool immediately. Okay, eggs have numerous when used as an ingredient in various types of foods. So these are they add flavor, they add color, they cause foods to get thick, a thickener. So this hollandaise sauce is the perfect example of using eggs to add flavor, color, and to thicken. So this is the example of hollandaise sauce. Next, they are also a binder. They hold foods together without the eggs. This meatloaf would fall apart. So this is the meatloaf. Next, clarifies. Okay, mixing coffee grounds with egg and even the eggshells before brewing clarifies the coffee, trapping the dust from the grounds and keeping it clear and less bitter. They help create structures also as the protein and the egg coagulates. And of course, they cause browning when using an egg wash. Eggs, egg washes are commonly used on pastries and breads for a glossy brown coloring. The preserved texture, they also preserve texture. Egg yolks are natural emulsifiers which help keep batter smooth. An emulsifier has the ability of keeping fat and liquid mixed together without separation. And then they also enrich adding nutrients such as protein. And they are also a leavening agent. Beaten eggs incorporate air, which rises up as it warms, and they add also moisture. Okay, when it comes to the separating eggs, some recipes call just for the egg whites, while others call only for the yolks. When separating the two parts, be careful not to break the yolk. Use the method of separation that works the best for you. Strive to learn the most efficient method how to crack the eggs. All right. Use also the sharp, jagged edge of the broken egg shell uh, to remove any unwanted yolk or pieces of shell from your egg mixture. The edge of the shell will cut through the whites, when the edge of a spoon or knife will not, like this one, like the image that you have seen on your screen. Egg whites start out being slimy as they are beaten or added. The whites turn from pale yellow to white in color and increase in volume. The more volume, the better. You should follow as many rules as possible for increasing the volume of beaten egg whites. Eggs should be at room temperature. That is very important. And then, of course, don't get any yolk mixed in with the whites. And use a smaller deep bowl rather than a larger shallow one. Use a copper bowl and then make sure eggs are at least 3 days old. Of course, no graze residue allowed. None on batter's bowl, etc. So next, let's proceed to the meringue. A meringue is basically a mixture of beaten egg whites and sugar, baked in an oven. Although there are several types, the most common use of meringue is as topping for pies. Even if the oven temperature is too high, the meringue will shrivel and shrink back from the edges of the crust. Too low of temperature causes the meringue to be dry. If too much sugar is beaten into the egg whites, yellow liquid beads of sugar appears on the baked and cooled meringue surface. This is an undesirable quality is called whipping. What might have caused your egg whites to turn gray while being beaten? Alright? You were probably using an aluminum bowl or aluminum beaters, or perhaps your nickel or chrome plated beaters have a nick on the finish. Egg whites exposed to aluminum causes them to turn gray in color. And what causes your egg whites to turn green while being beaten? Were you using a copper bowl that had traces of some sort of acid present, like cream of tartar or lemon juice. The metal copper in a combinations with acid causes egg whites to turn a greenish color. Selecting eggs for a hard cooking or hard boiling. In eggs fresher than 3 days old, the outer membrane adheres to the shell during the cooking process. When you try to peel the egg, chunks of egg white cling to the shell and are removed when the egg is peeled. What a mess, right? So eggs used for hard cooking must be at least 3 days old. All right. How can you tell a raw egg from a hard cooked egg without breaking the shell? So place the egg on its pointed end and spin it like a toy top. A hard cooked egg will spin, but a raw egg will topple over immediately. The heavy yolk wobbles back and forth inside, causing the egg to topple over. Next, adding egg yolk to hot mixtures, you have to stop to do like this. Okay, you cannot add egg yolks directly to hot mixtures or the egg will cook instantly and cause lumps. You must first warm the yolks. Begin by slowly adding the hot mixture to the beating yolks while stirring the yolk constantly. Then reverse the procedure, adding the warm yolks to the hot mixture. This process of warming the yolk first is called tempering. Okay, next is the custards. Custard is any soft egg-based dish. Unsweetened ones can be served as main or side dishes, while sweet custard are served for dessert. So, real men don't eat catch the delicate flavors of a custard-based quiche are often not appreciated by the meat and potatoes crowd. Quiche Lorraine is an egg pie with bacon and Swiss cheese. Ito po yun. Pumpkin pie and baked Pumpkin pie and baked custard cups, a type of steamed pudding, are two favorite dessert custard. Masarap po yun like this one. Oh. Okay, next, use the knife to check. Use the knife to check a custard for doneness. So you have to use the knife to check if the if the custard is already done or cooked. Insert the knife halfway between the center and the edge of the dish. If the knife comes out clean, the custard is done. All right. Custard cups. Custard cups are often set in a pan of water for baking. The water moderates the baking temperature so the outside edge does not overbake before the center gets done. So that's it. Cream brulee is a baked custard with a hard sugar coating burned under a grill or with a blowtorch. Delicate egg sauces. A classic vanilla sauce is called a creme anglaise. It is a delicate sauce that is made from milk, egg yolks, and sugar. A hollandaise sauce such as one over eggs benedict or poured over green vegetables is a delicate lemon butter egg sauce. Sauces may need to be made in a double boiler. If they overheat, they may curdle. It will appear separated or develop lumps. Straining the sauce may help save it. Okay, pastry cream is a sweetened pudding-like filling for cream puffs or eclairs. Sabayon is a very fragile form of egg yolks, sugar, and marsala wine. And of course, quality ice cream has custard-based cream or milk and eggs po yun. It does not whip or separate as it soften. It does not whip or separate or It does not whip or separate as it softens at room temperatures. Are you looking for a challenge, right? Perhaps you should try making a softball. Serve as a main or side dish, or sweetened and serve as dessert. The key ingredients of any softball are the beaten egg whites that are carefully folded in. The voluminous egg whites cause the softball to rise, but even the slight but even a slight vibrations or temperature change may cause it to fall. This high hot softball is baked in a straight side dish. It rises above the edge of the dish and obtains the crown effect. So, common egg dishes, we have deviled eggs made by hard boiling the eggs. So, the first one, we have to check eggs for cracks, cover with cold water, and then next, bring water to just under boiling. Time for 10 minutes. Immediately cool eggs. Overcooking allows the iron in the yolk to reach the outside of the yolk and leave the green ring around the yolk and remove shells, of course. Cut eggs in half lengthwise and remove yolks. And then number six, place yolk in a shallow dish such as pie plate and thoroughly mash yolks with a fork. Moisten with mayonnaise and mustard and seasoning to taste. And then last one, you have to fill hollows of egg whites with the yolk mixture. Garnish as desired. Paprika is a very popular garnish, adding color and sweetness. All right. Okay. This is the common egg dishes when it comes to the French and shuffled omelettes. The first one, select a skillet with sloping sides and a lid. Non-stick surfaces such as Teflon are ideal. And then the next ones, beat the whole eggs and seasonings. Usually two or three eggs are used. Then melt butter in a skillet, even if Teflon and add beaten eggs. Carefully lift edges of cooked eggs, allowing uncooked mixtures to run underneath. And then, of course, we have also, if you are adding fillings such as diced ham and grated cheese, place those fillings on only one half of the egg mixture. Adding the lid at this time will help heat the filling. And using a spatula or a turner carefully lift the unfilled side of the cooked egg mixtures and fold it in half over the filled side of the omelette. Continue cooking. Continue cooking to filling is completely done. Then last, carefully slide the omelette out of the skillet and onto a plate. Serve this French omelette plain or with condiments. A fluffy or so-called omelette is one in which beaten egg whites are folded into egg yolks. It starts cooking on the stove top and finishes in the oven. It is not filled but often served with sauce. Alright, now it's your turn to cook the incredible and edible eggs. The end.